Good morning. It's November the 12th, 2015. We'll have full markets, full trading complements today. Not much news domestically, but Yellen and 4 other Fed governors are going to speak today. So I think news reactions, market reactions to the news will come from the Fed governors. I don't think it'll come from this morning's news. Biggest news this morning is jobless claims. 266. Got Bloomberg Consumer Confidence Index. Last month was 41.1. We have JOLTS job openings. 5.39 last month. It was 5.37. This number comes down. The market will interpret it as economic conditions are weakening, as they did last month. For stocks, probably means they trade higher because the Fed can't raise interest rates. For treasuries, it means they should trade higher because the economy is weakening. And then we have crude inventories at plus 800,000 barrels. That's considerably lower than Tuesday night's APIs. So I think the focus will be jobless claims, then Yellen. And the stock market is ES is pointed lower as it opens this morning, and that could bring in extra support for this market. So given today's 30-year auction and the fact that the E-mini is pointed lower, I like the long side. So I think our 2601.29 is a reasonable place to get long, and then 25 to 21, pretty much where we've been the last couple of days. Not too interested in the short side, but can sell failure to take out 8 to 12. And then 15 to 19. Not much in the world news last night. China once again devalued the yuan a little bit. Draghi is he spoke at 5:30 this morning. I don't think it had a lot of impact on the market. We'll take a look at it. I haven't looked at the euro. So same idea on the 30-year, sell failure to take out 12 to 16. And then 23 to 27. Leaning against this high, could be 27 to 31. On the buy side, I do like the market this morning. And again, it's just hard to move that 30-year paper if they bang on it. They can run it down early in the session, and we're counting on that to get a better fill. And 17 to 21. If they do more than just push the market a little bit lower. Got this attractor at 52. So our 01 leans against that high volume number. And without news, and we don't have news today to speak of, that should slow the market down. Gold is pointed lower. I do believe they will get stops below 1072 before the selling is over. Held in okay overnight. Bottom hasn't fallen out of the market, but it is still pointed lower. So we'll make 81 to 79 by 1. And then 73, 75 by 2. Looks like 88 to 90, sell 1. And 93, 95, sell 2. And the idea has been that when we went below 1100, that stops below 1072 and a half was coming. And I haven't changed my opinion on that. There will be some short covering against 1072.5 if you're a trader. You called it right to there, and you've ridden it out. Then it gets a little uncertain on what's going to happen at 1072. Demand for the physical was up 8% last month, so there's still buying going on as the market comes down. And again, I think a lot of the buying is just insurance. It's not done to make trading profits. I got a question the other day from a source from a person that I would have never have thought that they were thinking in terms, but you know, what do you think about gold? What do you think about silver? What do you think about the economy? And I told them that, you know, from an insurance standpoint, you probably ought to have a little bit of it. And if you wanted it for survival, you'd do silver. If you wanted it to protect your assets, you would do gold. Okay, we're at 7 1/4. The London high is at 754, so 107.50 sell 1. 775.85 sell 2. That's where we were last night. 107 is a round number. The 675s allows them to get stops below that. Draghi did speak today. You can see that the market did sell in London. We're rejecting prices below 107.10. Crude oil. Headed lower. Several stories out last night how Saudi Arabia is amassing $100 billion liquidity to further and continue the OPEC's or Saudi Arabia's war against U.S. shale producers. Now, if anybody thinks Saudi Arabia is really truly our ally, they're not. They do everything in their power to maintain control of the oil market. That's their only reason for being. There was about 4 Saudi princes killed after the 9/11. I think 15 of the 19 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has funded a lot of these wars. Saudi Arabia is really not our friend. They're a necessary evil as long as we need oil from them. The way that you could cure this is ramp up domestic production, and in this case you'd have to subsidize it. And Saudi Arabia doesn't have the funds to take on the U.S. subsidization of our own oil market, but our government has chosen not to do that once again. But Saudi Arabia is not our friend. And a lot of what they do is out of self-interest, which is naturally. I'm just talking about Alec. It's more fungible than in hard times. And you know, would you cash this Krugerrand for me as opposed to you know, $14 for an ounce of silver? Yeah, it all goes. I mean, under deflation, you wouldn't want to own gold nor silver. I mean, but from an insurance standpoint, make sure you have a little bit there. If the black swan or the worst currently imagined situation develops, it'd probably be helpful to have a little bit of that stuff. That they do, but again, you know, you're talking about $100. You may want change, but yeah, all those things under deflation head lower. There's no doubt about it. Okay, we had 42.50 as a trading target. Next stop is $40. Got this low volume number right here in the distribution in the 41.75 area. So stops below 42, 41.75. Buy one, 41. Yeah, the problem I've always had with gold and silver is you can't eat it, and it does not pay a dividend. So over long periods of time, it's not it's not an investment that would make you money. Period. Okay, the spill from 42.75. So 42.75, 43 sell 1. That's pretty close. It's pretty aggressive. 43 1/4, 43.50 sell 2. And we have the crude inventories today, a build of 800,000 barrels. Comes in lower than that, the market will sell. Comes in higher than it'll probably rally. So that's the dynamic we have to deal with today. And it does change things. Okay, I think the ES is headed lower. Just looking at the charts and just normal trading ranges. 50 to 70 points is where you expect it off of a high to find buying and support, and that takes us down to the 2035. We had 2108 was the high, so 51 points takes us to 2060. 70 points takes us down to 2040. So 30 to 40 is probably pretty good support. Stops below 50, I think, is where what the trading target is now. Definitely stops below that low at 62. So I think we're headed there. Got a B in the overnight session. We started a new distribution down in P period. P seems to be when the moves get started now, not M and N, but you can see that M capped the market at 77, and the new distribution came in P period, and we are pointed lower. So first buy, it's where support is. Let them get stops low at 60 to 62. Beneath that, I think 50. So 50, 55. 50, 53 would be our buy 2 level. Do have a dent at 56. A low volume number, that's a possibility. Have this attractor at 58. And we have a low volume number at 61. So on the sell side, last rotate up stopped at 70. We're currently at 64. So 68, 70, sell 1, and 73, 75, sell 2. Today's news, jobless claims will be out of the way quickly. How dovish will Janet Yellen be in her testimony? It's some finance committee. Any login advice? Oh, keep hitting the OK. Usually about the third time you hit the OK, it'll let you do it. If it comes in, it tells you, it's probably telling you you're already logged in. Blue. That happened to me the other day. And I tried all of my passwords. I've got 3 different passwords and none of them worked. But by the 4th time I went in and did it, it worked. And if that fails, shut down, reboot. When all else fails in Microsoft, hit the power switch. Works pretty well. And if that doesn't work, probably got to talk to support. Okay, going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. Going to get busy on that. First news is in 24 minutes. We'll be back for a quick assessment after jobless claims, but it's not a major piece of news. I think Yellen speaks at either 9 or 9:30 this morning. She's probably going to be the biggest factor news-wise today. In a bit.